thing before we start? Okay.
Well, actually, I was discussing that just because I wanted to throw out a couple other names besides the one I had written down.
Okay, the link here.
Yeah, we're on live, but it really won't matter. Did you talk to Suku recently here?
Yeah, I talked to him the other day.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. But I'm not going to get into that while we're on here. I just went to the purpose of trying to cheer him up, which I know is not easy given his circumstances. I'm wondering if I should change my icon to Sailor Venus. Just to hop on the bandwagoning Sailor Moon stuff, Well, she is my favorite. I mean, I make no bones about that. Everybody has their favorite who likes the show.
Okay. Yeah. Wait a minute. Let me pillow time. They sent Zach the second season of Ori Emo.
So they gave him some firewood.
Well, at least it's not Ambien.
Maybe he needs Lunesta, I don't know.
When he said that about Saris. It's like, my Ambien came.
Does that mean you're going to drive through a gate? Do you remember hearing about that?
No.
Like somebody, I can't even remember who it was. I think it was a congressman or some shit. Or somebody in, government that actually was taking Ambien and, got up, at 4 in the morning or something, drove through the front gate.
I believe you. Okay. Alright.
Okay.
Was that your phone?
Was what my phone?
I thought I heard some weird,
It wasn't my phone. It's on.
Hope it isn't my phone. Actually, it's not my phone because if it was mine, mine would actually be playing the Strike Witches theme.
Well, I got my fan, but it's all the way down there.
Unless your fan vibrates and makes, a red alert sound.
Back and close. Back and close 2.
Did you hear about the shitstorm with Saren Kagura?
No, I stopped largely paying attention to that kind of stuff.
No, Funimation said that the...
What the fuck is that?
What?
I just heard somebody, sounded like they were talking through a vocoder.
I didn't hear a single thing.
Was that me?
I don't know what it was.
Wait, no, it's vibrating to someone else's computer.
What?
It was, echoing through someone else's computer, I think.
Wearing headphones.
That's weird. Oh, but anyway, what is it that they said on the package? that was gonna have the OVA, these specials,
Mm-hmm.
and it turned out that they weren't on there. So now people are like canceling their pre-order or sending returns.
Well, quite frankly, that's purely a case of just not. I guess you would say false advertising, but
Yeah. Actually, I'll be right back again. I really want this to be full before starting.
damn kids and their music. Oh, are we gonna have to change? Well, we'll talk about it when we start.
Man, I woke up with like a weird pain on my upper right head and my lower jaw and my jaw, and on the right side of my jaw.
I was going to jokingly say, dude, that's what happens when nah.
Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck?
Well, no,
Yeah,
that
that's way.
What
That's
the
way.
hell?
That was the Sonic CD.
Sonic 3D Blast for the Saturn.
Oh, that's what that.
No, all I heard was like da 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 da. Just.
All right, are we all ready?
Assuming that doesn't keep happening.
Let me push this back.
Now it won't happen.
Would you accidentally bump something?
Yeah, so yeah, my pinky finger caught it as I was putting my fingers on this keyboard, so I moved.
That actually would have been kind of funny if we were actually talking about something and that happened.
Alright. I'm ready.
Yep. I completely got stuff ready before I even got on here.
Easy, you ready?
Yep.
Okay. In 3, 2. Welcome to NTR Radio. I'm Tom Enforcer Anubis.
I'm K-Odds.
And I'm VZ Mark II.
Alright,
So it's been... Oh. All right, a couple interesting things, at least for me, yeah. So I'll go first.
Yeah.
One, I did pick up the Moe Manifesto.
Me too. Me too.
I didn't start reading it yet, but I do have it.
I read it all. Very
Wow.
good. Very good. No, it's easy. It's like take you like a day or two to read it. It's that easy.
Oh no, it's not that. It's just that I hadn't gotten around to it because I've been.
I won't say anything, but the power of Moe compels you. The power of Moe compels you.
That doesn't help if our listeners haven't seen The Exorcist.
Who hasn't seen The Exorcist?
I haven't.
Oh, zing!
Do you at least know what that is? I mean, it's like this. Hey, Citizen Kane, you know that that Rosebud was his sled, right?
I've seen Citizen Kane, so I know what you're talking about there. But I had never seen The Exorcist in my entire life.
Okay. So yeah, continue on.
This is becoming one of those like taxi cab confessions things.
I just don't see, because I'm not a movie guy, so when everyone has a movie reference that I don't understand. Not saying I didn't understand the more it compels you thing. I understand that, but people come out with these movie references. Yeah, I haven't seen this movie. I don't spend my time watching movies.
Okay, yeah, he spends it watching Chinese cartoons.
Basically.
There you go. That and shooting people with BBs.
Yeah.
I did not care for The Godfather.
Right. So moving along.
I'm not joking about that. I literally do not care for The Godfather, despite being Italian.
I haven't seen that film either.
I have, but that hasn't. I'm not gonna turn this into a movie thing. Okay, so I was playing The Adventure of Link, also known as Zelda 2, and I was looking at something, and I realized when you're fighting these things, people who've played this will know what the hell I'm talking about. You guys might not.
You're talking about the NES game, right?
Right. There's these enemies in it called Iron Knuckles. I'm sure anybody who's played it knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I was watching. Don't ask me why I did this. I couldn't understand why people had trouble fighting them. I never have. And then I watched somebody playing, and now I know why. Because I do not fight them the way other people do. I just go in, jump, and smack them in the face. Like, just non-stop, just whack, 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 you know. They're actually sitting there trying to block their attacks and, like, you know, dodge and get shots in. And I'm like, oh, that's why they're having problems fighting them.
Obviously.
Well, no, it's not even that. It's just I never even thought of fighting them that way. That's the way I do it is the way I've always done it, and I thought that was how you were supposed to. But who knows? Website development.
Yeah, I wanted to know about that.
Unfortunately, I did have to start over after like 2 or 3 days because of a screw up with the software. So that put me back. Hey, that one wasn't my fault.
That one was okay. So you said that one wasn't your fault. Which one was your fault?
What do you mean? I'm not the one who made the error.
Oh, the implication is that that one wasn't your fault, but another one was.
Oh no, I mean various screw-ups in the past that you've blasted me with the fail horn for. But this one actually wasn't on me. But anyway, I actually did have to scrap it and start over, so it put me back. It's there now, but there's not really any content. But if you want to look at it, it's docuwash.com.
Nice.
The actual name of it is the Dakimakura Laundromat. There's a story there, and I think I've actually said it in a past episode when I originally came up with it. But look forward to that. Give me about another week, probably, and there'll be some stuff floating around.
So, can I tell you my story? What happened this week?
Depends. This isn't going to involve Christian, is it?
No.
Good.
But okay. First off, I got from Right Stuff, Love Lab on Blu-ray.
Oh, nice.
All right, love that show. I also have Kinera Mosaic on pre-order, and I also pre-ordered the third season of Hidamari on Blu-ray because that's getting a Blu-ray release, and Love Live.
Very
from
good.
Nisa. All right. So here's the thing. Remember that thing with the second season of Hidamari, the disc, where I told her I sent it out? Well, I got the disc back, and I watched it. There was still a few disc hiccups, but it wasn't as bad as the other one. It only happened during like the credits a few times, but not really. Like that, I could just skip. It didn't happen during the actual show, so.
Just out of curiosity, did you try it on a different player or anything to make sure it actually isn't something with your player?
I feel like I should, but it's honestly because the last time I tested it with that first disc, before I sent it out, it happened in the same exact place.
Oh, okay.
That's why. But otherwise, it's not as big of an issue. It's just just skip or fast forward or whatever. Anyway, okay. Here's the thing. They sent me a gift, a free gift, right? This is what they sent me, all right? This shows that they do not listen to this show. They sent me the Blu-ray collection of Flowers of Evil.
Someone get Anubis a fucking, like...
Missions failed.
What?
I'm not opening this. I'm not gonna even watch it. I'm probably gonna just sell it at my yard sale
Done.
for $20. Okay, I'll say suggested whatever it is online and $20. Just take it, please.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not even touching it. I'm not even gonna hate watch it. You know, I'm not even gonna fucking hate watch it or anything. I can't do that. I'm just gonna.
That was worth everything right there.
I'm just
seeing Anubis's reaction to that.
Of all the shows that
Like for real, they probably could have sent you yaoi porn and you would have been happier.
I probably would.
You can't understand. It's like, okay, this guy sent in his Hidamari sketch.
Yeah.
Working correctly. So he sent it in. Oh, we should give him a gift to say, hey, we're sorry we screwed up the disc. Oh, what anime should we get the guy who obviously likes Hidamari's sketch?
I don't know. All the Moe kids love Hidamari. All the Moe kids love Flowers of Evil.
You know what all the Moe people are really pumped about? Flowers of Evil. Let's get him that.
Yeah, he said he was an art student or something. This has got rotoscoping or something in it. You know, it's all good.
You know.
That's dumb. That's
anything. They could have sent me anything else, and I would have.
That was genuinely amusing.
Anything on anything, even DVD. I would have said cool, fine, whatever. You know.
It's a good thing they don't send Ona. It's a good thing they don't sell Ona holes there.
Oh, you used ones?
No, I wasn't even thinking that. Ow.
Flowers of Evil.
Yeah, because if you do a quick search, or with all the web crawlers or whatever you're using, you might also like.
Yeah, it's like, where how would they arrive to that conclusion that this guy would like Flowers of Evil?
That would be like if you bought, I don't know, or on High School Club, and they said also recommended Kiss Excess.
Yeah, exactly.
I do have a wide range of anime tastes. I don't just watch moe things. But
no, that's not the point.
Flowers of Evil.
That's not the point, though. But they know you like Hidamari's sketch because you bought it and you cared enough about it to send in the disc when it wasn't working. So
maybe they just have overstock and they're trying to get rid of it.
Hey, maybe.
I was thinking that too.
I wonder why they're overstocked on Flowers of Evil.
It's just that I'm not saying that's why. I'm just putting that out there.
Distinct possibility. If that's the case, I wonder why.
So,
and that's hypothetical, I wonder why, because I know why.
In other news, this is just speculation. I don't think we've actually heard, or maybe we have. I don't know. I've just been seeing it pop up on my timeline. But Studio Ghibli.
Breaking news: Studio Ghibli possibly closing down.
And the world continues, to go.
It's time to party like it's 1999.
Not yet. Ishihara's dead yet.
Bye. Na 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 na. Na na na. Was I the only person who didn't really care too much for 1999? That was just an okay year.
I liked the song by Prince.
That's about but yeah. Anyway. Oh no! I got a better song. Learn to celebrate. Come on.
Somebody already made that joke.
Oh.
But yeah,
okay.
I don't know. We're probably the least Karenist podcast about this thing.
Exactly.
I can't get too mad. I actually do like numerous titles they put out. So
yeah, me too.
I like, but it's like.
My favorite one.
There's this really annoying cult of personality that's popped up around Miyazaki and company.
My favorite Miyazaki movie is the one that was made before Ghibli, and that's Nausicaa.
Okay, yeah.
Or if you want to go back, I actually really like that animated Hobbit. That was done.
I thought you were gonna say the Castle of Cagliostro.
Because yeah,
I mean, I like Kiki's Delivery Service.
Me too.
yeah.
My Neighbor Totoro.
I like
I even like Spirited Away.
I actually like some of. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I actually kind of liked some of Howl's Moving Castle.
I actually did not see that.
Ponyo is very like uninteresting.
Somebody's sitting there with like a little like memo pad. He didn't see Howl's Moving Castle. Then he's going on the list.
I remember on I forgot if it was Cartoon Network or some channel, but they had like a Miyazaki month and they were just playing all of them.
Oh yeah, they actually I think that coincides with all those DVD and Blu-ray re-releases.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
Because I was at, I don't even remember, it wasn't Best Buy, because it's Best Buy. They don't have anime there anymore. But I was somewhere where they sell anime, and they had like 5 or 6 different movies of his, just boom, boom, boom. And it caught me off guard. I think they were all on Blu-ray too, so.
But yeah, it's like Studio Ghibli might be closing down soon. Okay.
You know, let me know when Sunrise calls it quits. Then I'll start complaining.
There are other recent news stories that I have many more words about, and you'll hear about one of them in the third segment. Foreshadowing.
I like where this is going. There's a good energy on the podcast.
In other news, Kantai Collection is finally got a date for January.
In more news I don't care about.
Anubis is just mad because every time he's using an image board, he has to deal with that shit.
Like, okay, so
I agree. It is.
And it's like
it's the most hype thing.
Military _ uniform. And then I press enter. And then I sigh. Then I click in the search bar space minus Kantai _ collection. And then I hit and I'm happy again.
So, anybody out there using any of your Danbaru, you know,
anything with the word Buru.
Buru slapped on, well, except for, you know, Milaburu.
Milburu has no Kantai collection on it. So it also has only like 200 something images because they haven't updated it in months.
I need to send you some stuff. I have some stuff that you would from various shows and such that you would be that would be Milburu worthy.
Awesome, because I need more content for it.
Yeah, I got some stuff.
Just swipe a bunch of Kami pictures or something, you know? Those count, don't they? They're usually in, you know, military regalia or something like that. Or does it have to be like, you know...
So what about what we've all been watching? Anything besides the season?
I'm just going to plead that I've been mostly just tinkering around with my website and some stuff, so I actually did end up watching, what the hell is it called? I'm totally having a brain fart right now, so somebody else go.
What's it about?
Yeah, I'll remember here in a minute. I'm on the spot.
I'm still watching Lokudol, Hana Yamata, Himigoto, and Rail Wars.
First episode of Himigoto earlier today.
The
subgroup that I chose, like, it was linked to me by a friend of mine.
Yeah, not the one that has the at symbol, because that's the one that has the
that replaced the OP with DMX's Where the Hood At.
Yeah.
What?
I thought for a second I thought like I had another tab open that was playing that song, and I fiddled with the volume settings. Like, no, this is coming from the show. Now
yeah. Okay, that's not it.
Okay, I clearly am out of the loop because not only did I not know what you were talking about, but was genuinely surprised.
Yeah, that's not it.
Himigoto that replaced the opening song, and like it's just the opening song and like the tail ending song there. with DMX's "Where the Hood At."
I have no words.
I found that absolutely hilarious.
Well, Horrible Subs picked it up, which is basically Crunchyroll ripped, so that's where you should watch it properly.
I might continue with that one because it's like.
Really?
That almost sounds like something that sub Dim Diggers would come up with, doesn't it? Come on! I can't be the only one who would think that. I'm actually watching Sailor Moon Crystal still.
Oh.
Which I know I'm probably the only one who cares. Which is cool. I'm enjoying it. They just had Sailor Mars pop in, Yeah.
One new Sailor Soldier every episode, right?
Well, again, that's not really. I guess because it's moving at a different pace, But they kind of did that too when they did the American butchered version because they cut out some episodes to try to get them together faster. At least I assume that's why they did it. They might have just had a hair up their ass with some of the content.
So no girl getting tied up in the bathtub and me at the age of like 13, 14 really liking that.
What was her name anyway? I can't remember. I know she was supposed to be like some kind of idol of some kind.
Yes.
I know what you're talking about. That's the sad thing.
Saw a little cleavage. And I'm like, I'm liking this.
It's got like that plasma goo looking thing.
Yes.
Yeah, which is I've seen enough hentai to know where that's going.
I actually
distinctly remember in the dub, she's crawling under those like chairs and she looks at the screen and goes, "If you see Luna," I remember just like upon rewatching that, just like.
I remember. I actually remember the first time I saw. I actually thought the monster that she was fighting in the first episode, I actually thought that was Queen Beryl.
Oh, those shadows, you mean?
Just the main monster that you see in the first episode.
Oh, yeah, the skeleton, the kind of like rotten.
Yeah.
Looking
Yes.
Thing. Yeah.
So I've mostly been busy. I've actually been watching mostly older stuff this past couple weeks. Like I started
throw something out there.
Started rewatching Macross Frontier.
Macross in general is generally enjoyable.
Yeah. I've started continuing Zeta Gundam.
Nice.
Where are you at there? I have to know.
I am just past, just about halfway. They just that colony drop on the moon.
Right, so Pimptimus Shirako is involved at that point.
Yeah. Alright, and a couple days ago, I was gonna sit down and watch 2 episodes of Nadesco, and that turned into 10 episodes of Nadesco, so I've been watching that as well.
I bet you have that theme song in your head at this point.
Yeah, I do.
No shame. That is one of the few anime ops that, I can just hear it at any time in my head. Just someone turning a dial. Yeah, exactly.
I listened to that song, and I was thinking, you know what? I should rewatch Nadesco. So I did that. And I meant to watch 2 episodes, and I ended up watching 10. So
that's like the Fig Newton thing right there.
Exactly.
I finished Kimmy Kiss also.
How'd that go?
I enjoyed it. I liked it. It's not at the level of Photokano. There's almost no ecchi in it. There's no ecchi at all in it. But overall, it was a decent, nice show. I don't get what the rage is about because the best girl won in the show.
Okay, so I'm guessing that it has something to do that's maybe external.
Oh, let's be real for a second. There are people out there who like Ayase, so not everyone's gonna like the best girl. People like the worst girl, which is
Yeah.
Ayase.
Also, the first time I ever saw the childhood friend character won in a harem.
There you go.
So yeah, for everybody out there, you know what kind of figure to Figma to send Anubis for Christmas.
Oh yeah. If you'd like a video of me shooting at a Figma, you know exactly which one to send.
Hey, they sent since I got Flowers of Evil. Now someone's got to give Anubis an Ayase figure.
Hey, send me Flowers of Evil. Send me an Ayase figure. Who else? Yeah, Yozora. I don't like her either.
Just send it to me. I'll actually take it.
Yeah, send it to K guys. He'll do something constructive with it. I'll just shoot at it.
And when he says constructive, he does not mean inappropriate.
You don't mean like hate come on figure? You know, like
Who does that? Like, I understand you hate the character, you want to destroy the figure, but who does that?
Like who sits there and just like, take this, you bitch? like really? Or it's like, I hate this guy. I want him to die.
hate watch. What a concept.
Hate watching. When
It
you
almost it sounds like something that like
watch it.
that CNN does like on supremacist groups or something like that. They're hate watching. You know what I mean? Like they got these organizations that are like following people around with cameras and you know.
I have a feeling Anubis would probably really hate Miharu Inami from working.
Is she a bitch?
She is the one that's afraid of men and is always punching the main character, even though she doesn't really mean to.
Yeah, I feel like I wouldn't have a very high opinion of her, but I'd probably dislike her less than Ayase. Because the thing about Ayase is she's billed as this yandere character, but doesn't have any of the like Yamato Nadeshiko qualities that's supposed to underlie that kind of character. She's just a bitch all the time.
She's kind of like the gold star standard for you know that kind of character that nobody likes except for
people who just inexplicably like Ayase for no reason.
So yeah, the International Samoa League.
Yeah, International Samoa cannot understand why anyone likes that character whatsoever.
See, I would say like Inami isn't at that level really, because she's not really she's not really a bitch. It's just that she doesn't mean to punch the main character, but she was conditioned to hate men by her father.
That sounds remarkably similar to some actual people I know.
So that way she wouldn't end up with anyone.
So just as an aside, as we're speaking on Ayase, somehow 470 individuals have watched this video of me shooting an Ayase picture with 2 airsoft guns.
They can put it side by side with that video, or is it a video or a GIF? I can't even remember, of that thing where the guy's stabbing his computer with the bayonet.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, with the with Carino, which I think wasn't really original on that because I saw something else that was exactly the same but just a different picture. So I think it might be like one of those template things.
Yeah.
But the origin.
Gotcha. Like when people mess with like macros and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 likes, 7 dislikes.
Oh.
Gee, I wonder who those dislikes are.
Oh.
Bad.
I know.
It's like getting hate mail from Hitler. I mean.
I know. I think I have like 2,000 views for the one. You know the video I made, the one with the coffee, green tea, coffee, green tea, coffee, green tea.
Yeah, I know.
From Gochi Uso. Yeah, people really like that one.
Yeah. Apparently I got Ayase fans hating on me.
Did they tell
They're
you
gonna
that?
they're gonna dox you and start following you around.
Exactly. They can
Encyclopedia Dramatica.
your soft guns. It hurts. Trust me. I know.
Speaking of which, there was an episode. It was part of the Lost episode where he managed to shoot himself with one
Yeah.
on air.
Yeah.
It was before we were doing this live though.
Yeah. It hurt.
So if you got sent Flowers Evil, would you just shoot it up?
I would make a video shooting that, either the case or the disc or both. Probably the case. Like I as much as I don't like the show, I kind of feel bad just shooting at the disc and like destroying the disc. I don't like destroying media like that. I'd probably just shoot at the case.
Yeah, because I know Dave and Joel, when they got sent Kanan, they like destroyed the disc.
Yeah, I'm not comfortable with doing that.
Yeah. That's
That's basically
That's
showing
just-
your
that's just such
showing your manhood right there.
That's just such a
breaking
man
a
baby
disc.
thing. Yeah, that's like such a man baby thing. It's like, I hate the show so much. Oh, it's like,
I'm gonna break this disc and burn its remains.
I'm gonna break the disc apart, and it's like, yeah, it's okay.
show yourself as
Cool.
a real.
You broke something that costs less than $1 to manufacture.
Like I'll shoot the case, and then I can just send it to someone who actually.
Or you could even, or if you don't like the idea of destroying it, you can have a new frisbee.
Yeah, but that would wreck the disc more. Like what I would do is I'd shoot the case, and then just send the disc to someone who actually wants it.
Or even beyond shooting the case, you could use it like a doorstop. Assuming you don't already have a doorstop.
And honestly, Anubis, it's not even worth opening it up and watching it one time through, right? Because you saw up to like 8 episodes.
Yeah. I've already seen as much as I want to see of that show.
Well, I'm just saying for me, it's not even worth for me to open it up and watch.
No, it's not. It really isn't.
I'll say this: it's one of those shows that I could honestly see where
Knowing what you're into and
Yeah.
the kind of preferences you have, no, absolutely not.
it's one of those things I could honestly see that the manga would be significantly easier to digest too.
Yeah,
Yeah, because the manga doesn't look like that.
They didn't make it with the express purpose of making Moe fans mad.
Well, you could argue that Psychopaths kind of marketed itself a little like that.
So did it. And where's Psychopath now?
Well, Psychopass is getting another season. So
Yes, it is actually.
Where's the first one now? Because nobody's talking about it. Nobody's even talking about the second season, to be perfectly honest. I haven't seen a single person talking about the second season either.
I don't even know if that's out yet.
So we see where all this manufactured controversy gets us. It gets us a mediocre show that has no real longevity.
You know,
Maybe it's time to go back to making good shows and not trying to hype up things based on controversy.
by the way, you know, and in the meanwhile, Love Live is like the top selling thing right now for, you know, and it's getting a movie.
Oh, imagine that. When you make a show that's good and people like it, it becomes successful. Imagine that. Huh. I never thought that would happen.
Because they've been making
Just genuinely make a good show instead of trying to ride on controversy.
Because anytime I see a list of top Blu-ray sales, Love Live is on the top. Which, by the way, I'm glad to see Gochi Uso on the list too. So that really gives me hope that will get a second season.
Also, you see Flowers of Evil on that list?
I still wish Love Lab.
I see it in the hands of VZ.
I still wish Love Lab got that love. I don't know why. Why? Because they wanted boyfriends.
As dumb as that sounds, I could honestly see that being a thing.
which isn't even really a big thing in the show. It's just a very funny show.
That's not the point. We all know
Yeah.
I
that
don't.
some people do some silly stuff in regards to this.
I don't really think that's the thing. I think it's just one of those shows that just, despite being very good, just didn't pan out. Kind of like Stella.
That's another thing. It's sometimes not the show itself. It's
Certainly
that
not.
when you have a lot of stuff coming out, sometimes some stuff falls. Because the one that really gets me, I actually saved this thing on 4chan. That I know 4chan. It had like the sales of like a bunch of Moe shows, of like some of the top Moe shows. K-On! Was like on the top,
Naturally.
but on the bottom, at like only 1,000, was Kanamemo. That one baffles me. The Kanamemo sold so low. That show is so funny, and it has everything that I want in a show. That it's not just a Moe show. It's not just a Loli show, and it's not just a Yuri show. It's a Moe Loli Yuri show with Akito Isaki.
See, that's the thing. There are an infinite number of factors that influence whether this stuff is successful or not, and a lot of people like to boil it down to one or two, and that's really not the case and never has been the case.
Well,
So
in anything, I mean, let's be honest. When I got into anime, there was a lot less stuff being made in general.
Yeah.
In terms of like series, just the whole bit.
Well,
Now with the fact that there is more, it also seems like, just by sheer numbers, that some things are just not. Things are going to get crowded out by other things.
Exactly.
Some things are just not gonna make it. People are.
It has nothing to do with quality or anything. It's purely a matter of almost resources.
Exactly. It's just a matter of how I have the money to buy this, and I don't have the money to buy that as well.
That's another thing. If you notice, all right, I'm gonna bring up the show Nichijou, which was projected to be really big because it was Kyoani. Outside of what you think, if the humor works or not in the show, that's beside the point. The point was that the big show of that year of 2011 was Madoka plus Anohana plus Haganai plus some other so, and that only otaku buy the media, and even though otaku are the ones buying it, they only have they still have only a finite amount of
That's what I was referring to when I said resources.
Yeah.
Basically, money and choices.
They can't lift everything up. They have to pick and choose, and some stuff does not get chosen. In any case, that's the break. Keep it right here on NTR Radio. All right.
That was evil. Christ. Wow. I thought I was totally done talking about that show ever, and then that happened.
Okay. Hey, apparently, Studio Ghibli, that was actually just a rumor rolling around on the internet.
We'll bring that up in the second segment then.
Well, we did say breaking. So.
Echo 3-1 Sierra 1. There we go.
Oh yeah, see, I see it on ANN.
This is always the hard part, is choosing what song to pick. Let's go with Ace Combat.
And now we'll listen to the smooth jazz
of Stella.
Do I have that on here? Because that doesn't sound like too bad a call.
Oh, I was watching this thing this afternoon about this guy went to they were talking about Godzilla and Ultraman, and he went into the set. It was a white guy, but he went to the set where Ultraman was filming.
That's relevant.
That was awesome.
Is it relevant that he was white?
well, white guy in Japan. So yeah, it was cool that they were showing how they were doing the filming and all that. And the like pyrotechnics and all that. Love that shit.
Pyrotechnics. I think the United States has never really recovered from that white snake, or was it Great White or whatever gig that happened.
Well, actually, it's more like just gunpowder, but not actual explode. But like they put it on the monster, and then they have this thing they show like how they like set it off so that it explodes.
Right.
And then they showed the thing like putting the white guy that I just said next to Ultraman and him like doing the finishing move to shoot at the monster, and then they were showing like how they do the digital effects and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, the best part was apparently Hideki Anno has a museum that it was like an exhibition that he opened for like Tokusatsu and like Ultraman stuff.
Nice.
Where they showed like the vehicles.
He actually is a big fan of stuff like that and Devil.
Oh, I know, yeah. And they showed off that thing that he made. You know that thing that he used the monster from Nausicaa. He came out with that thing recently where it was like filmed in live action, and it was like a Tokusatsu thing. It was like called Giant Warrior Destroys Tokyo. But anyway, yeah, that was the thing that which, by the way, yeah, Hideki Anno animated that scene, by the way, in the movie, in the Nausicaa movie. The one when you see the part where you see the monster shooting.
Well, he's been around for a while. I mean.
Oh yeah.
A bunch of those guys were involved in a whole lot of different stuff that people don't really pay attention to.
Yeah.
Well, actually, if you look at like even Gundam Unicorn, there's people from all over the place involved in that.
Yeah. I'll be right back. 1 sec.
SDF Macross.
Like, for example, I believe I saw someone from Shaft, like being loaned, for like some of the in-betweeners and things like that, animation or something like that. You know how you'll see stuff on the when the credits are rolling, courtesy of such and such.
Yeah, exactly.
It's great. It's like having a Zen garden.
Yeah, that's one thing I forgot to mention is I've been playing a whole lot of Ace Combat.
Right. Well, it's our show. You can still mention it.
Yeah, that's just a miscellaneous thing that I was probably not going to mention either way, but just because I've got the Ace Combat Zero soundtrack playing, I'm like, you know what? I've been playing a whole lot of Ace Combat.
I've been trying to play the Zelda game and finding myself not able to fight worth a shit. Watch the way other people apparently have been fighting these things. It's like, oh, now I see why they were having problems. They didn't have kind of the just go in and blast them attitude that I did, and we're trying to be more defensive,
Hell, there's a lot of stuff I forgot to mention that doesn't really have anything to do with anything. Like, I'm trying to repair my flight suit. That's happening.
Well, all that, outdoor lifestyle,
Oh What's hilarious is that I don't even know what broke it. Like, I was completely indoors. It might have been when I was sleeping in it, all 3 times I slept in it, but I don't know.
When you hop the rail when you hop the rail to get to the dinner table, or
By the way, if you ever need a really, really warm set of pajamas that's durable, well, don't get my flight suit, but get a flight suit, because they're warm as hell, and you can basically just wear whatever underneath it, and then sleep, and then get up, and you'll be fine.
I have a person.
Everyone can wear flight suits all the time.
Yeah, he'll even pay for them.
No, I won't.
I will say one thing. This is since we're talking about clothing. I wear big socks. And the reason I do that is because it seems like, and I don't know if everybody else is like that, but if my feet
You know what they say about big socks?
they take longer to make.
You know what they say about big feet?
Big shoe.
Yeah, but they say that about everything. Big hands, big ears.
Hands, big gloves, big ears, big headphones.
I mean, come on now. But okay, yeah, big socks. The thing with these is, whenever my feet get cold, my entire body is just, I don't even know the right word here, just gets colder than it normally would be if my feet are cold.
I find that my body has atrocious temperature control where I'm either too hot or too cold, or sometimes hot and cold at the same time. I know that's weird, this be that you're both hot and cold at the same time, but it's like I'm hot, but like the rest of my body is very hot right now. But my nose is very cold, which is why I always have the tissue.
Right. Well, yeah. I'm kind of like that with my ears too. Weirdly enough.
Mm.
Like my I can be fine, but if my ears are cold, that's just one of those real irritating, you know.
Right.
Yeah, I find that my nose gets the coldest, like easiest, like.
So you operate kind of like a dog in that regard.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, like they poke you with your nose. It's like, holy shit, your nose is cold. Stop sniffing the crotch. Come on.
Okay.
Just like in the Lucky Star VA, like when the dog was in Miyuki's crotch. I'm not joking about that. That happened.
All right.
Yeah.
Everyone ready?
Yep.
Sure are.
In 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to NTR Radio. Okay, so we mentioned breaking news in the previous segment. Now we have even breakinger news. Evidently, Studio Ghibli is not shutting down.
So my advice there is just throw a dart.
Yeah, just flip a coin, throw a dart. Just
It's the internet. This is a group of. This is a culture that has told us Morgan Freeman has died on a couple occasions.
See, now A&M is saying the studio considers dismantling production, but wait, so apparently there'll be another thing saying nope, that's not happening.
Yeah.
So
Because A&N's never said something false or misleading.
well, it's not that, it's just like you know, lack of current, you know, takes to you know what I mean.
Okay, so this episode, I believe it was VZ's idea.
Yes, it was. And we're talking about harem anime. Stop.
Right.
Harem time.
Oh no.
Harem time.
Okay. Well, at least you're not wearing the parachute pants. Ooh. Am I the only person who remembers those?
Yes, I do. I remember that.
Ooh.
I don't think there's a single person on the planet Earth who owns one anymore.
No. I said
the
the same thing about those Jinkos, but then I saw somebody in a pair.
Remember, you know how we were talking about like Hate Watch earlier? Well, I did used to when I was a kid, because it was so bad. I used to watch the show Hammer Time. I think that was the first cartoon that I watched that was like I knew was deliberately bad, but I watched it because it was so bad. I think that was my
cartoon.
It was the MC Hammer cartoon.
Okay, that's all I needed to know.
MC Hammer had a cartoon.
Yes.
That's
Wow. How do I not remember that?
In very early '90s, like 1991 or something. Whatever the height of his career of that time.
Of wearing parachute pants and
I just remember like the whole
ripping off Rick James.
Yeah, exactly.
Magic shoes.
Wasn't that a thing that McDonald's sold at one point?
Also trying to have like the urban style in its art style, but just looking awful.
I vote we stop talking about the MC Hammer cartoon.
Start going back to actual.
Okay, we're railing bad here.
But harem anime is bad. It's like it's all cliched, and why is the main guy always got to be such a beta? You know, why is it got to be such a milk toast?
Milk toast.
Well, the funny thing is there actually is an explanation for that.
There actually is,
and it's not a stupid one. It's because these are based, in a large case of them, they're based off of like light novels and things like that.
The main character is supposed to be a self-insert character.
Or visual novel. Yeah, also visual novels.
Novels and light novels.
Yeah.
Right.
Also,
and that's the idea. It's interaction. It's usually they're assuming the player is inserting themselves in there.
Exactly.
And since obviously it doesn't work like that because you're watching the show and you're not controlling it or interacting with it, hopefully not.
Yeah.
You can't make a complete blank slate character and it still even make any sense, really.
Right. Well, here's the thing, because I guess I'll get into this since in the show Photokano, in Kimmy Kiss, in the original game that it was based on, the PS2 game, it was one character and different girls, obviously. Well, what they decided to do was in that show split the main character and make two different characters.
Yeah, sometimes they come up with really creative ways to kind of circumvent that
limitation.
Yeah, that limitation of the source material.
Because the complaint usually was that I don't know, like I never watched it per se, but I know like the big complaint about stuff like the Fate Stay Night, the original one, is like because it's based on a visual novel and there's like all these different pasts and you can't really cover all those in the anime. You can't really do that for time, so you generally only do the one.
Right. I understand what you're getting at.
Like in the like in the Clannad movie, it's obviously going to be about Nagisa, main character Nagisa.
Exactly.
Right. The first
they cut out a whole bunch of the characters in that movie. By the way, like I said, they cut out Fuko. They cut out the one that looks like Tsukasa from Lucky Star.
I know who you're talking about. Damn it.
The long hair, short hair. Long hair?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Long hair was in it. Short hair wasn't.
Really? She's the one who was cut out?
Yeah, the one with the short hair was cut out, but the one with the long the one that looks like Kagami from Lucky Star was in it.
You're not referring to Katomi, are you?
No, he's not referring to Katomi.
No, but there's the twins. There's the twins, right?
Right.
And I'm saying they kept the one with the long hair, but they cut out the one with the short hair.
Okay. Having a complete lapse of memory here.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. I only saw the only Clannad I saw. I should watch it one day. I saw the first episode of the first series and the one episode in the second series. You know which one? Just because I love watching that over and over and over on YouTube.
All right,
The
man.
one, the one with
So
May.
since we're mentioning Key, I'll go on record and say most of their stuff is worth just watching once. And you know, at least that's how I feel. I mean, they're nice visually, but they don't really hold up to repeat viewings.
Uh, then again, I like it.
But then again, I also not specifically just referring to Clannad. I'm talking about their stuff in general.
Canon, Air.
Air, which again are nice to look at, certainly.
Angel Beats.
No, that was PA Works, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, I thought I was thinking of Key Works. I was thinking of Key Works. You meant Kiowani stuff. Is that what you're saying?
No, I actually meant the company Key.
Yeah. But that the writers for that show were Key.
From Key.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah. Well, okay. I understand what you're saying now.
Also, Little Busters.
Right.
Key game.
As far as this harem thing goes, I gotta say the closest thing that I started with any of those kind of shows would probably be Tenchi Muyo, like a lot of people.
I saw some of. I actually saw the movies before the TV series was on Cartoon Network.
On Sci-Fi?
It was probably Sci-Fi, but it might have been like the Encore Action Channel when they used to play a lot of anime on there.
Okay. But a lot of them still do follow the Tenchi Muyo and Love Hina kind of model.
Yeah.
Definitely.
To where you have the main character, and again, unfortunately, now a lot of the time because of the self-insertion, basis for a lot of these adaptations, ends up being just kind of bland. But in the case, it's usually one guy surrounded by
any genre, there's good ones and there's bad ones. It's not all bad like people say.
Surrounded by, how would you say, a minimum of 4 or 5, I guess?
Yeah.
4 minimum. Yeah, 4.
Yeah. And more than 2. If it's more than 2, then it's a harem.
Usually it falls into that kind of...
If it's 2, it's a love triangle.
Right. And the case is they usually have, and this is actually a complaint, the characters are have archetypes, traits, Like one of them kind of falls into the tsundere kind of,
Yeah.
One of them token loli or something like that,
Childhood friend.
That's a big one.
You get the what's another one? Oh,
the one that appears to not really fit in at first, but then
Yeah, well, sometimes you get a literal like either they might be an alien or a robot.
Oh yeah. Or in the case of like Tenchi Muyo, they're like cyber police. not cyber police. I actually meant to say
Police.
Yeah, I was actually thinking like celestial or something like that. Cyber police.
Are they gonna?
Are they gonna backtrace it?
Yeah, exactly. The consequences will never be the same.
Yeah, I've been noticing like a lot of the more modern harems have been doing it where, when I say I'm just up like Furokano, Amagami, even though I haven't seen Amagami, but I know of, and I will watch that one. And also Yosuga no Sora, where it does like a couple episodes establishing it, and then it does episodes where each goes into a different route.
That's what I'm talking about when I'm saying they're kind of developing ways to circumvent these limitations.
Right.
Now we get the shows that are just every route instead of just one route and one route, and then the fans of the rest of the 4 girls get really mad.
But which, by the way, Furokano, excellent. Like that the way it did all that was fantastic.
Megami also excellent. Yosuga no Sora, very excellent.
Oh, I know you like that one.
We should point out though, if you have an aversion to like ancestral themes, that one is definitely going to bother you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm gonna say the first harem that I saw outside of Tenchi, the first one that I just sat and watched on my own accord, was this show that nobody's seen this. I'm sure none of our listeners even know about this because it came and went in 2006, and the show called Kage Karamaru, which is a ninja harem anime. It's stupid, but it's funny stupid.
That totally makes sense, VZ, because if it's a ninja harem, it vanished without anybody seeing it.
Yeah. Anyway, if it weren't for Cheryl of Milky Homes, I might say that the main girl of this anime might be the dumbest anime character ever. I can't think of any female.
Ooh.
I can't think of any female dumber than this main girl in this show. Like just totally oblivious to everything. That's.
Should we mention any shows that kind of are doing the inverted thing, where it's the one female character surrounded by all the guys?
I know that they exist. I just can't name any outside of Orin High School Host Club.
How about Fushigi Yugi?
Okay.
Oh, all right. I didn't even know that was a reverse harem.
Well, it's one of those things that feels weird to call it that, but there are some other characters outside of the one that she's actually pursuing that actually shows interest.
Mm.
And of course, shipping, you know.
Yeah. Would you say like, see, this is where we're all gonna like diverge in what our definition is a harem, but would you say Monogatari is a harem?
Ooh,
Because not every girl is interested in him, but
Okay. Well, let's break it down.
there needs to be character-specific episodes for sure.
So,
yeah.
Okay. Wait. Well, let's break Monogatari down. We got Homeboy.
Yeah.
We know Senator Gahara's into him. We know
Mayoi.
Tsubasa's into him. Is Mayoi really into him?
Considering that they kissed before she went bye-bye. By the way, I want a you know the term that I came up with, pulling an or emo. I want that from Monogatari. All right, I want him to end up with Mayoi in the end. Okay, bam, that's who he ends up with in the end.
That would be a legitimate surprise. Ori-emo wasn't a surprise. We knew that it was going to end up that way. Yeah. Okay, we'll talk about Ori-emo after we're done breaking down Monogatari then. But
okay,
we got Tsubasa and Hitagi. They're both into him. So at this point, we're at love triangle. Shit.
Snake. Yeah, Snake. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. The name is slipping my mind now. But okay, so we have three. We have
now also even though Saruga. Oh, Nadeko's who you're talking about.
Nadeko, yes.
Yeah. Also, even though she's originally lesbian, also Saruga slowly falls because the whole vampirism thing, where because he has the vampire blood in him still, it's making the girls attracted to him, which they talked about. That's part of the power.
I still don't know if I'd count Saruga in there.
I know that's kind of a gray area, but definitely
like she's comfortable with him, but like I don't know if I'd say she's into him. I don't know. Anyway, we mentioned Ori-emo, so let's talk about that for a second.
Sure,
yeah,
that's a show that has provoked a lot of discussion.
Okay, so we got Homeboy, we got Kirino,
obviously,
Kuroneko.
We've got Ayase. Yeah.
Did Ayase really like?
I think so.
Yeah. I watched that scene where she confessed to him and Homeboy shot her down.
That was probably his favorite part of the show.
That was my favorite part of the show.
Yeah, that's right. You also got
what's her name?
Minami.
Yeah.
Manami, what? Did she like him? I don't like
Yes, yes. That was the whole thing in the last about where that was the whole thing at the end when the two were fighting.
Dun dun dun.
I almost forgot
The only thing missing was mud.
So, Manami, do we count Saori?
Oh,
Yeah, see that? I was actually just thinking of that.
I saw it's from the game. It's from the PSP game, but what's her name? What's the one with the one that dresses as Maru?
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Well, anyway, she kisses Kyosuke in the game. She's like pulling on his tie and like kissing him at the same time.
Yeah, so that's one of those ones that I've always kind of stuck in the kind of the gray area.
Oh, by the way, Ayase gets pregnant in one of the routes in the game.
Why would anyone do that?
Also, Minami gets pregnant also in another route, I think.
That's less like outrageous, but still outrageous.
Mm-hmm. I think another harem that we all enjoy is Haganai.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
Although I enjoy
certainly.
more for the comedy.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. I enjoy it for the the basic humor. Would we consider whatchamacallit? It's kind of the same feel. It's humor based. SYD in there. Sort of.
I haven't seen that one, but I know it.
Idea.
Oh, I know another show that another one. Set to cut a oh wait, what was the
Yaku and Domo?
No.
No, I know what you mean.
Setakoi no Ichizan.
Yeah, I was thinking, I just mentioned it.
Which I love the first season. The second season I couldn't finish because.
Well, I know Homeboy's trying to make it a harem, but I don't know if I'd consider it a harem.
I mean, if we're just going by the sheer amount of girls that are interested in the main character, even Gundam Seed Destiny somewhat falls into this because Atherin's a main character and he's got them basically flocking around him.
Yeah, speaking of harem and mecha, we unfortunately have stuff like Infinite Stratos, which I couldn't finish that show.
Oh, that was just a bad show. There wasn't anything wrong with it other than it being a bad show.
But it's certainly like it's one of those shows that makes you question like, it's really sold really that well?
I can't understand why it did as well as it did. But if we're talking about harem and mecha, probably my favorite. Yeah, I'd say it's probably my favorite harem anime, and one of my favorite anime period is Nadesco.
That counts as harem.
We're taking it back to what we were talking about earlier. It all ties in.
We go full circle on NTR Radio. But yeah, that's harem. We're talking a love Septagon at some point.
We know one of Novus's favorite harems, Ladies versus Butlers.
Well, that's one of mine too.
Yeah.
Because you got drills.
Right. You got the childhood friend.
Yeah. Troll. You got drill tits, troll tits.
Don't forget the I think the dark skinned girl.
You got Muslim tits. You got lolly tits. You got you got reverse trap tits. You got
don't forget Kugamiya involved. Reverse trap tits.
That's what I just said. Yeah.
I know, but you did not mention that.
Yeah, reverse trap tits. Yeah. Does Kiss Sis count as harem? Because
I don't.
Yeah, I don't count it as a harem.
I think so because I heard it here in the manga. He's getting with the teacher.
I haven't actually read the manga, so I can't comment on that.
Yeah, I've seen scans. I just haven't read it either, but I know of.
Kind of a side here. Like she's not like as far as the whole show goes. I don't really see her as a main character. I see her as more of a side character.
And if you think about it, the loli likes him too.
She also likes chocolate bananas.
Yeah.
And the Piss Chan is starting to like him too.
I don't know. I still wouldn't consider it a harem anime just because like all these other girls, they're all side characters to me.
Yeah. Since
he's on him and his sisters.
Yeah. Oh, since you brought up Love Hina earlier, you can't forget Negima.
Can't forget Negima. No, I can't forget Negima.
Or Ken Akamatsu in general.
Ken Akamatsu in general.
Which by the way, for the record, I like that Zebek one. I know it's animated really cheaply, and it kind of like had to wrap up real fast at the end, but I actually like that one.
I just think the whole show would have worked better if it had actually tried to be a harem anime instead of trying to be a shonen fighting.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I agree with you there.
Also, I don't really like Ken Akamatsu that much, but that's an entire different can of worms there.
So yeah, other breaking news: Anubis is not a fan of Ken Akamatsu.
Not a fan. Can't really say I really enjoy the guy who got famous off of doing the runner-up to Tenchi Muyo is in Best Harem.
For some reason, when you said that, I can only think of like a dog show, like the runner-up, the best in show.
Exactly, he's like second best in show, but somehow he got famous off of what he did. And if you asked people, oh, who did Tenchi Muyo? No one's gonna have an answer for you. Anyway, that's just my sour grapes about Ken Akamatsu. I'm not a fan. Plus, he's one of those people who said Moe is dead, and
I do appreciate kind of chuckling when they interviewed him just recently here.
Oh yeah, on CNN.
Yes, that was entertaining.
Oh, what did he say?
He's basically showed him drawing some stuff, and and it's hard because it was very visual. They were trying to they were trying to use him to make a point of some kind,
Yeah, and he wasn't having it.
It is very.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah. My favorite shot down of all time was the of someone in the Japanese in the anime industry shooting an interviewer down. My favorite still tops the Akiki Shimbo one.
Well, yeah, that one was really entertaining. If nothing else.
Who cares if they're in need?
So, to go back though to the harem, thing, Golden Boy kind of falls under there. I mean, because every episode is dedicated to a different woman who kind of like if they usually don't have an infatuation with him immediately until like later on in the episode.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they're OVAs, but you know what I mean.
I should watch that someday. Golden Boy someday.
I've heard in the manga, and hopefully somebody can actually clarify this, but I've heard in the manga he actually does have sex with them. I'm not sure about that, but
just like the end of Outlanders. Just like the end of the Outlanders movie, where
but that's heavily hinted at that they do anyway.
Yeah. Another harem that does it count as harem? I think it does. Even though I've not watched a lot, I've only watched a little bit of the first TV series and the OVAs. To Love Ru.
Yeah, I'd probably throw that in there.
I wish To Love Ru is one of those things that I can't. I save the art. I saved the manga art. I saved the screen caps. I love Mikan. She's like one of the best Emoto characters. I just can't get into the actual thing.
Okay.
To get into the thing, really.
as far as talking about this topic, though, it's one of those topics that some people just don't like on principle.
Yeah. Oh, some people. Yeah, it's like it's sexist that all these girls are after this one man. And
I just think it's funny. It's like, this is clearly a male fantasy. It's like, well, no shit. I mean, like, do you want a cookie for pointing that out?
what is it?
Being a male fantasy.
Was it? Can I use their name from ANN or
No.
is that?
No,
All
it's
right.
not-
Someone on ANN was complaining in the podcast about the girl in Shuffle that
Which
couldn't
one?
cook an egg. That couldn't cook an egg.
Narane, I believe.
It's like why is it that she can't cook an egg? And it's like because
she's good at everything else, just not cooking.
Oh, some people just don't know how to cook eggs. What's so difficult to understand about people not cooking eggs?
She's like a straight A student and this other stuff, but yeah.
Here's why that line of reasoning is wrong, and here's why claiming that is sexist is just straight up wrong. Okay, so she doesn't know how to cook eggs, but she knows that homeboy really likes eggs. So what she's gonna do? She's gonna be proactive. She wants to learn how to cook eggs so she can please the person she likes.
But see that to them, well, because all right. In their reasoning, doing something for a man is sexist. Doing that your whole life is based on pleasing this male character instead of
no one should ever do anything for anybody then.
Yeah, I mean, come on, it's like,
instead of pursuing your own, career or goal.
Sex? Oh no, man, that involves two people, and
her own goal is to get with the dude. So she's pursuing a goal. That's empowering.
No, see, but to them that would be disempowering because they're focused only on getting a man rather than focusing on their.
If that's what they want to do, if that's what they want to do, who are you to tell them different?
Exactly. What? If that's what they're aiming to do, then who?
No better than them. I mean.
Oh, by the way, there's a chapter in that book in the Moe Manifesto, a feminism perspective on otaku.
Yeah, I know. I read through that.
Yeah. Oh,
okay,
by the way,
I'll get to that eventually.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Mr. Pretentious is also in that book. You know which one?
No, because that could mean a whole bunch of people at this point.
Was it the database animals guy?
Oh, I knew that because that was in the index.
Yeah.
Anyway, ignoring that for a minute.
Yeah.
Shuffle's a good example because that's almost like a crystallized version of this.
Pretty much.
Except for the fact that at the end he actually chooses one.
Yeah.
You'll have to watch it to find out which one. Oh, that or do an internet search, whatever you want to do.
It was the wrong one. That's my.
I'm the only one that liked, and even though it wasn't there, it was far from Shaft's best. I'm the only one that watched and liked Nisekoi, because that counts as that's a harem.
I watched it for a little while, but I like a lot of Shaft's works, but this one was a little too ordinary.
True. It wasn't as far. It wasn't as
I mean, okay, it had some of the things that they do, like the tilts, and.
Mm.
I love the art style. The show looks amazing. All the presentation and stuff is great. I just didn't like any of the girls.
See, I was surprised that you didn't like Sugumi. I thought that would have been like your girl,
Holy crap! No, absolutely not.
So we know not to let you play matchmaker with Anubis.
Mm-hmm.
I
know she was a bitch in the beginning. I know she.
Friggin', main girl, Chitoge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she looked, and she's cute as hell. Don't get me wrong. She's a bitch though. Holy crap. And the other Onodera, and she's nice. She's not cute.
Actually, I like I thought Marika was cute, the one that comes later on.
I've only seen her because I watched the first episode and then watched the episode with Sumugi, was it?
Yeah.
Yep.
The gun.
Watched the episode of Samugi, and then I was like, yeah, I'm done. This show is bitches on parade.
Wow, I think we have our title. I think we're gonna have to go with that. But okay, but all right. I bailed after about 6 or 7 episodes or however long it was, just because it's like, this is gonna go on for a lot longer, and I don't think it's gonna capture my interest
call
enough.
women bitches, because that's not progressive enough. We gotta be progressive in this modern society of ours.
Well, you can be progressive over there. I don't really care.
And because the male patriarchy is ruining
Just
our
stop,
cause.
please.
And I'm gotta type on my Tumblr. Got post-its on my Tumblr.
Quit it. like it's annoying even mocking it. Yeah. So harems. To be fair, that's kind of the way those are set up a lot of the time is kind of limited anyway.
I just like seeing a lineup of different girls, and you have like different tit sizes.
Wow.
From flat to gigantic. The
Is-
artist in me likes that.
The artist in you, yes.
The artist in you, yeah. Not the raging
Artist.
testosterone,
Don't worry, VZ. We believe you.
Although I imagine that wouldn't work as a real comment, like if in the real world. like if you were sitting there and you were just one of those bull in a china shop moments to where just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and that was something you said, nobody would fucking believe you at all. Like you're sitting there just trying to look for something, inspire sculpting or something like that, and it's just like, yeah, you walk in on like the wrong room or something,
What? I was just doing it for the artistic reason.
Yeah, there's, I swear, artistic value. Yeah, put it in a rap song.
Ecchi!
Yeah, now see, that would be the anime or manga version of it.
Yeah.
See, here you wouldn't just be smacked; you would be hit, beaten, and you'd be continued to be hit and beaten.
Oh no! I tripped up. What are these? And then honking the main character's, the girl's chest for like a couple of seconds. What are these?
That's like that Wile E. Coyote moment where he doesn't know he's not on the cliff anymore.
Oh, by the way, another early. I know another early harem I saw. Any of these actually, a noobs would love this show if you ever. Van Dread.
I actually watched a couple episodes of that. I still need to continue on it.
Yeah, that's a harem mecha show by Gonzo.
Mm-hmm. We're specifically avoiding hentai or anime or manga here for obvious reasons. Because the idea of that is obviously to cram as much sex in as possible most of the time.
But if you want to see tits in anime, then why not just watch hentai?
I do.
Yes.
That is my argument to that. I do.
Why do they have to put it on TV anime too?
Else.
Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, like, nobody's like strapping you down.
The great thing about anything can happen within it.
You know what you could do is
not watch it.
You could watch Cowboy Bebop for the 500th time on Cartoon Network.
Hey, you can even ogle Faye.
Hey, imagine that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I the only one who ever did that?
In a move surprising exactly 0 people, Cowboy Bebop is back on Adult Swim. That said, it's on at like 4 a.m. So it's not like we're getting new.
One of those nights to where you're up editing a podcast such as ours, or you're just up eating like chips and playing Ace Combat or something.
Which, by the way, yeah, let's remake Ghost in the Shell, turn it to a harem.
Yeah.
Bato's the main character.
That's what people were afraid of.
Oh,
People, when they came out with the new Ghost in the Shell, people were going to turn it into a moe, ecchi harem show. And I'm not joking.
I saw something a little bit about that. I avoid most places that would have such a large group of people saying something like that.
Oh.
Yeah, Mikado would just say, "What is this thing? I'm starting to discover this thing called love."
Well, the funny thing is that would actually be an interesting concept because the ability to body jack in that world.
It would make a great concept. They're not going to do it because it's Ghost in the Shell. And you know what?
Right. I understand that.
Actually, just now that thinking about it, would Ava count as a harem? Think about that.
There was love in Ava, or even attempts at it?
If you think about it in the Dojin sense.
Oh, come on. Anything can be a harem in the Dojin sense.
You know?
That's playing on easy mode.
He's got Asuka, he's got Rei, he's got Mari.
Misato.
Yeah. So it's a harem. It's a harem.
I'm really dubious about calling Ava a harem. I think it's a lot more complex than that.
Oh, Dempa Ona harem?
Nope.
I think so, yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. To me, they feel differently than just regular shows that have a lot of love interests in them, in the sense that they have more things like character-focused episodes.
Yeah, I like it when in the harems when you always have like either the Christmas cake teacher or older.
A lot of people hate on that archetype, and I don't get it.
Yeah. What, the Christmas cake?
Yeah, like, have you guys not ever dated an older woman or something before?
I think it's because of the whole like they don't, why is this attractive woman still single?
Stupid fucking dude. I don't know.
It's because it's the plot. It's because it's an anime.
Okay, but the point is, I mean, just that name, A Christmas Cake.
Yeah.
It's like I usually don't eat cake on Christmas, so
Well, that's a Japanese thing.
Oh yeah, I know. So to me that term is very
To eat some Christmas cake.
Because past the 25th, it's just ordinary cake. Nobody wants it
because in the world of internet people, that's old.
Yeah, 25 is old.
Like you're really hitting them golden years.
Well, that's more of a it's kind of a discredited trope because marriages in Japan are actually like past 30 now instead of but it's still there in anime land.
Right.
As opposed to here when that's when divorces start happening.
Yeah. But yeah, like I'm more times than not, I'm on board with the Christmas cake character.
Oh, me too, because if nothing else, they've been around long enough to know themselves better.
Well, I love like not just I just love like not even in harems but like how they act.
Oh yeah,
immature as the students.
Yeah, like basically like in the original Sailor Moon, Haruna, I think her name is, their teacher.
Yeah.
She's like completely blowing off class to go off on dates and shit.
Or like how Sakura Sensei in K-on's making the costumes.
Yeah.
Like, I think you look great in this.
Yeah, I understand that.
Or like how Yoshino and Hidamari, like she goes like she when stated like how old are you? She's like I'm eternally 17.
Normally I hear 15 when I hear somebody say that phrase.
So here's a harem thing that kind of ticks me off. You ever notice how more often than not the homeboy ends up with the tsundere?
Yes, a lot of people hear about that. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Again, I guess I'll just go ahead and do the spoilers. Like a good An interesting take on it to me was Shuffle, because he didn't end up with the character that they kind of shoved forward as much early on, and he actually does end up with the childhood friend.
Yeah.
Which is strangely more realistic. to me.
Okay, so that's anime number 2 where someone ends up with the childhood friend. Because number 1, I was gonna say, Kimmy Kiss. I was like, okay, what are some others where the character ends up with, the childhood friend?
Whereas,
Looking at Shuffle, you've got this girl in your house cooking for you,
cleaning, doing things that are often considered demeaning by some, I suppose.
Exactly. Yeah. And you're not gonna date her?
Actually, in Kimmy Kiss, one character ended up with the childhood friend, and the other one ended up with the would I say Kudere, the ice personality character.
Yeah, Kudere.
Yeah, who has like the really high IQ and like, I'm studying this thing called love type of character.
Okay, Brian.
Closer to Don Dere. But yeah, and like whenever I see that kind of character, that's like the perfect like wife material, like she knows how to cook and shit.
Yeah.
Which pisses people off because it's considered subservient and.
Yeah, but fuck those people. Never ends up.
It goes with the tsundere instead. Yeah.
Bitch. I want to see an anime and there's gonna be 3-episode long anime, by the way. I want to see a show where homeboy it starts out kind of like Shuffle, where homeboy's living with this girl that he's not dating, and she's doing all the cooking and cleaning and all that, and it's very, very obvious she's into him. So like he goes to school, and the tsundere character kind of shows up, and she's a bitch, and he's like, "Bitch, get away from me!" And then at the end of episode 3, he ends up with the girl who's living in his house cooking for him.
Yeah, he goes back home and starts humping her on the couch.
Exactly.
And then the credits roll.
I don't know. I think it's kind of cute when you see like the tsundere character attempt to try to cook for the main character.
Well, certainly, I understand what you're saying.
But then be like, you can have this. You can have the rest. Don't get me wrong.
You're thinking about it for an example, like a character like Asuka from Evangelion, when she's trying to check in on Shinji and hiding behind the thing. Yeah. Like, and she's like, trying to not be seen, Yeah. And like he's giggling in bed and shit.
These are the walls of Jericho.
Oh yeah, that's a great line. I've always loved that.
Which I'm like,
the only thing funnier than that.
You just picked up the Bible right then and there.
No. The only thing that would have been better than that is "You shall not pass."
Yeah, and that's really cute and everything, but
in small doses.
In small doses, but it's like, okay, perfect example, perfect segue into school days.
Oh man,
how do you?
We could do a whole show on that one.
Do an entire show about how do you ignore that? How do you not get with that?
Because he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Clearly. He doesn't see the bigger picture. He starts, he's just like, ooh, easy vag,
By the way, if you hate tsunderes, you would probably not want to watch more of Rail Wars.
I don't know, Rail Wars to me is more of just a fan service show.
Oh, I know it's not really harem, but I'm just saying because of the tsundere character.
But yeah, so here and go. Here's
Which, by the way, no, you can continue.
The whole thing that happened with Makoto, I actually think it's Sakai's fault. She's the one who introduced him to the concept of you don't actually have to date women and treat them like, human beings. You can just have sex with them, and that's okay.
Operating on porn logic here.
She's the one who set that precedent for him. And then he started thinking, I don't actually have to care about women. I can just have sex with them. Okay, I'm going to start doing that. and that
I honestly think that he probably had that personality to an extent anyway.
I should watch School Days one day.
to a certain extent, he had to have a little bit of that personality for.
Certainly, because like when he's out on a date with with Katsura, he's like looking at smut magazines and shit. Like what?
Mm.
But I still think it's largely Sakai's fault, because she's the one who set that precedent for him.
Yeah.
And then everything just went downhill, because then he started banging everybody.
And for those who haven't seen School Days, he really does mean that.
Yeah, no, I'm not joking.
Like there was literally an episode he wakes up and he's obviously clearly just done the deed, and like it didn't show it or even hint at it the episode before.
Yeah, wasn't that like with Sakai's best friend too?
Hikari, wasn't that her name or something like that? It had the big ring, like hair.
Her name, because I always just referred to her as some variation of like the Sakai Intelligence Agency.
She's the one who liked Taisuke somehow.
Yeah, somehow.
Like that blows like
Human
any common sense out the window.
Human Trash Master Taisuke Sawagana, or whatever the hell his name is.
And the most amusing thing about him, amusing being in quotes,
the one amusing thing about him, go on.
Is that he completely gets out of this entire situation scot-free with like nothing bad happening to him.
If one person were to be killed, if I had to pick one person to kill in that anime and have everyone else stay alive, just kill one person, it'd be him.
Oh yeah, he's definitely the biggest piece of crap in there, and that's saying a lot.
Human Trash Master.
Trash. Yeah.
Any harems where the main character ends up with like the token loli?
Not usually, not that I can think of.
Not I can think. Well,
Bam! Anime industry. Come on, do that.
Okay.
Or ends up with like the Christmas cake teacher.
Sora from Yasuga no Sora is sort of a loli. She's the same age as the guy, but she has that body type.
Mm.
Right.
Or ends up with the Christmas cake teacher, which I would say, from what I'm hearing about Kiss Sis, might be there. I don't know.
Well, again, that's since this stuff is all based off of whatever's selling or what's hot over in Japan. That's probably these little ideas that we're like kind of cultivating here aren't exactly going to be pushed very hard.
Oh yeah.
Sisters are really hot right now.
What'd you say, sisters?
Sisters.
Yeah.
Yeah, which that's an interesting phenomenon to me. It really is. Obviously written by people who don't have them. Very clearly.
I think
What's with all these What's with all these? Guess what? Cream Lemon did it 30 years ago.
Oh, certainly.
Salted.
Well,
Exactly 30 years ago, like 1984.
Yeah, if you want to make someone feel old, point out that like Ride the Lightning by Metallica or Power Slave by Iron Maiden are 30 years old now. That's one of those like don't say things like that. Anyway, getting back to anime here.
Does MM count as harem? Because I really can't think of anyone else that he was besides the main two girls.
I don't really think so.
Okay, I got one that we didn't talk about. Zero no Tsukaima.
Even though I haven't actually watched that, but I know.
It kind of falls into that category because it's got.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Louise.
Well, yeah, and we know somebody who has a less than admirable. That's not the right word. Less than pleasant view of that situation. Horsewhip.
But yeah, so to close out the segment,
It's usually go. Sorry.
favorite harem anime, go.
Of ones that actually are unquestionably a harem anime.
Where there is no question that it is a harem anime.
Well, certainly, I guess I would go with Shuffle, probably. It's a boring pick, but it's not really a type of anime I'm a huge fan of, to be honest with you. But it's not because like I find it offensive or something weird like that, you know. It's just it's not terribly appealing the way things are constructed to me. They usually come across as kind of bland.
Right.
Favorite harem for me? I'm gonna say Monogatari series and Haganai.
Okay, I guess I can throw in another vote for the Haganai too. If we're gonna include that.
Yeah, it's so likable, you know. It's.
Well, and I think another reason it's so likable is because it concentrates on humor more than anything else.
Yeah.
And you know,
just fun show.
And the characters play off each other in kind of a I don't want to say a Seinfeld way, but the chemistry, the interaction between them, between their personalities.
It's like that they hate each other, but you know that they like each other. You know.
Right. The irony is they formed a club to find friends, but they all have become friends without realizing it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean that's obviously that's kind of the duh statement of the show.
I love that the second season had more of the crude humor, like just not even cutting away from them vomiting from the.
Oh yeah.
Which I love. That's like one of the banners on 4chan.
Just them like cruising around on the roller coaster.
Yeah.
And such. Yeah.
Yeah, and Rika says fuck
a couple times. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, favorite harem anime, I'd probably have to go with Nadesco for my number one.
Not Ladies versus Butlers.
No, it was really good, but it's
right.
It doesn't.
I would get it if I could. That's one of those things. If it was out there, for sale, hint, hint.
Yeah. Oh, what about? I know you really like Clannad. So.
What about the other key series?
Yeah.
Couldn't get into them. Clannad's the only one I could really get into.
That's why I said Clannad. You're talking about your favorite harem, right?
Clannad's great, but as far as harem series go, if I picked two, Clannad would be the second one. But if I only had to pick one, Nadesco, definitely.
Okay.
So, obviously no one here is jonesing for Orimo.
First season, yes. Second season, not as much.
I love the show.
Yeah, I enjoyed the show to an extent.
I did. I enjoyed it too. But as far as harem goes.
But it's also one of those shows that I don't see myself, except for maybe every once in a real blue moon, ever seeing again.
I could rewatch it a couple times probably.
I mean, it's not like something where like, I don't know. Let's see here. Even something like MD Geist or something where I'll watch it like almost like as a religious experience of some kind.
Yeah, that
like some kind of ritualistic. Okay, I've got my Mountain Dew,
MD Geist,
and I've got a bowl of popcorn or snacks or something.
Yeah, there, folks. MD Geist is a religious experience.
Yeah. And that's amusing to say because back when I was first getting into this stuff, that was one of those stay away from shows that people always said, like Golgo 13.
Yeah, or Fist of North Star movie.
Yeah, these were things. Stay away from these things. They're trash and they're stupid. And
then now
10 years later, it's the same.
Now people are big up on them.
Yeah, and now people are like, whoa, at least they're not the creepy, otaku bait.
Exactly.
Guess what? This stuff was for Otaku too.
Yep.
Sure it was. Just a different time and, you know.
Yeah.
Different time, different era.
Yeah,
different-
exactly. I mean,
Give these people
so
a
we're all
time.
these mecha shows. Get real, people.
Give yourself a time machine, or you could just download this, or just watch the old stuff.
Watch the old stuff.
I watch a lot of old stuff too.
No one's forcing you to watch remakes and, you know.
I was watching
Nobody-
that the other day. It's great. On that note, we're up on the break. Keep it right here on NTR Radio. I don't know why I kept that voice for like the thing, but I kind of like it.
I don't know. It felt more natural, I guess, to do that.
Oh,
Because you were already talking like that, so.
1 Sierra 2. Boom. Got some music.
Oh boy, what I always wanted, a Marty McFly doll. Oh no, Japan.
Yeah, that can't be any more misplaced than giving you flowers of evil.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna beat that for a very long time.
That's gonna be tough unless they send me like, I don't know, like unless like a Columbia House type thing starts sending me stuff like Justin Bieber. I mean that's gonna be a hard thing to beat.
We'll send you Redline.
No, even that, at least it actually falls under the umbrella of anime.
If they sent me Redline, I would be less upset than if they had sent me Flowers of Evil.
Well, certainly,
so, in a certain way.
because if nothing else, at least Redline has, you know, animation to back it up.
Redline has
Actual animation instead of rotoscoping.
Yeah, which is just, it comes across as very poorly done. It's about as poorly done as the CG in Gundam Seed. It's not, you know, it sticks out like a sore thumb and not in a good way.
I didn't discuss it on the show. It just came to me now. But you know what could be considered harem, even though it's not at all? But if you think about it, it can be.
Family Ties?
Idolmaster.
Idolmaster sorta, kinda.
I think that falls under, unsurprisingly, dun dun dun, with the name, falls under the basic, I hate to say new, but kind of boom with the idol, you know, in general, has its own kind of thing going on.
Even though idol stuff been there since the 80s too.
Well, yeah, but it seems to be a bit of a
This stuff is
trend right now.
a very long time. People just like to pretend that it's new because.
Well, yeah.
like
Most
it.
trends are just, you know, things are
There
circulating.
are a lot of idol anime right now, yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. It's in right now.
Yeah.
Speaking
All
of
these things are cyclical. You gotta remember that.
Oh
too.
yeah, most fads are.
Yeah.
Though I do shudder at the thought of parachute pants coming back.
I don't think that's ever gonna happen.
No, I think that was one of those mistakes that everybody realizes it was a mistake.
You know what was really, really bad thing we did? Parachute pants. Let's never do that again, please.
How about Jinkos? Yeah, I think we can throw them in there too. Though I actually did see somebody wearing those. So somebody that was way too old to be wearing them. That's the weird thing. Like they weren't a teenager or like, you know.
I was trying to explain to my mom because they were playing Godfather, and was saying about like she was talking about with the fedora, and I said then I brought up the whole like well you know fedoras are in again, even though not in the way that I'd explain what type of people, you know, the stereotype of people that wear them.
Yeah. Okay. And they'll come back again later on.
Yep.
Come on now, it's a hat.
Imagine that. It's a hat. It's just a hat. What are you playing?
Anthem to fedoras.
It's Combat 5 soundtrack. I've been playing Ace Combat for like the past 2 weeks. It's like been nothing but Ace Combat for me for the past week and a half.
Ah. Harem Monogatari.
Yeah. You can make anything a harem if we're using the doujins or the fan fiction.
Hmm. You could turn Nanan Buri into a harem. You know? The brother that doesn't say anything in the show.
I was gonna say you could turn things that only have 3 men somehow.
Well, in that show, there's only one man. Like,
No, I mean, but no women.
Oh.
I'm just saying, doujins, you can find a way. That also reminds me of like a Mega Man X soundtrack.
You could turn Mega Man into a harem.
No,
Mega
that
Man.
would be really bad. The
No,
more
no.
I think about
like,
that, the worse that would be.
Okay. Instead of you have the main character, right, and then the select stage for your different girls. Like if a harem visual novel thing was old school, and you gotta choose.
Somebody should do that for a porn series.
Okay, you got childhood friend level. You got token loli level. You got tsundere level.
Yeah, but see, that would be one of those awful hentai games that you need 2 hands to play.
Yeah. I guess you do have to point out that kind of hurts the point a little bit.
Loli man, tsundere man.
Shouldn't it be woman?
Yeah, I don't want to meet Lolly Man.
That's his super. That's VZ's alter ego.
I am Loli man.
Like instead of like the bat symbol being like shined up into the sky, there's like this just picture of a fucking rattle or something weird like that.
What is that?
Like some kind of like pixie sticks or some shit.
Recorder.
Uh,
Backpack. The red backpack.
I still like in Model Suit Gunpla Builders Beginning G, like the first bear guy that had the mega particle cannon in the recorder and the mist backpack.
Yes.
Anyway, we got 3 emails. Are we ready?
Yes.
Yeah. Just like the little flashlight shines up into the sky, and there's a high Zack or something. Okay, I'm done amusing myself.
Everyone ready?
Yeah. Go ahead.
3, 2.
Yes.
Welcome back to NTR Radio. All right, so we have mail.
Incoming message.
This first one's coming from Jekyll Geek. He's got some podcasting ideas for us.
Okay.
Nice.
Hello once again, Time Force Anubis, K-Gods, and VZ. Number 1, the audio was eaten on the reviewing episode I was on. I'm pretty much free anytime to redo, and I am more awake in the evening, so I should be a better guest now. So we'll keep that in mind. Expect
Certainly.
a review episode. Well, not another. Expect a review episode from Jekyll Geek. With Jekyll Geek. Number
Excellent.
2, I have a new idea for a podcast. The Anime Worth Watching podcast. The format is every episode is about one particular anime series. Now I've guessed who liked the show in question. All of you are invited.
Okay.
So that sounds like a very intriguing proposition. We'll definitely have Jekyll Geek back on the show because
Certainly. The only reason we didn't last time is because error.
YouTube ate the audio. So
You know, the recorder decided to go into Narnia or wherever it went.
exactly. So we'll definitely have Jekyll Geek back on the show, and we'll definitely look into this new podcast idea he's looking at. All right.
Which reminds me, I got to do a thing with Kikaku Cat
Yeah,
on
you,
Hidamari.
you got that Hidamari episode on Podcast Zero coming up, don't you?
Yeah. Yes. Oh, I also actually have this. I gotta keep remembering this Thursday. I gotta find out what date or time. But I'm actually gonna be doing a show with Josh for Collection DX.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, this is a good time to actually point that out.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'll plug NTR Radio and all that shit.
It is a brand.
Yeah.
You know?
I won't say what NTR means. I'll just say look at that.
Yeah, that's not necessary. I think anybody who's familiar enough with anime and manga is going to get that.
He's not gonna know what NTR means.
Oh, okay, then all you have to do is just explain that the R doesn't mean radio.
Yeah. We're not going to be blah blah radio.
Yeah, that anybody who thinks that missed the point entirely.
No, I'm just gonna explain what, and I'm just gonna say if you want to know what.
It's a pun on NPR because that's what
Yeah,
it is.
I will say yeah.
There you go.
You know, I don't want to say well, it's the Japanese term for cuckolding. You know.
Yeah, you know, for when you don't want to use a turd like cuckolding, you want to use NTR.
Oh.
Which it's not even that I'm into that. It's not even that I'm
No.
I
think
mean,
we
just
explained
picked
that
it
the first
because it's
episode.
funny. Because
Exactly.
It's funny.
Or in NTR, we just picked it because it's funny.
It's like NPR and NPR and
Right.
TR, and it fits
Our
this
talk
podcast.
each episode, which I
Yeah.
love. Anyway, next email.
Incoming message.
This one's coming from Zeke Freak. Hey,
Nice.
Zeke here, mofos. I don't appreciate all this Love Live love. That show's ruined my life, cock blocking the second season of Excel World from me. Anyway, what do you guys think is the variable that needs to budge if more shows are to be completed? I believe the biggest problem in the industry at the moment is the rampant abundance of incomplete adaptations. Do they need to break up this committee system in favor of more network-produced shows? For example, Log Horizon was able to be renewed for a second season almost immediately due to being produced by a TV network and not a production committee, as most anime today are. But at the same time, do you think TV networks running anime production in a more widespread way would be detrimental? Do you think it would limit the kinds of contents that get greenlit? Do you think that they would deliberately deny adaptations to risque material? Does the industry need to wait and not rush to adapt the latest light novel/manga series? Do they need to be more selective about what gets adapted to anime so that more shows can be completed? Would that not mean a dramatic decrease in variety overall? Does the industry need to change its pricing model? Is anime too expensive even by Japanese standards? Is the limiting of success of more shows or allowing the industry to stay afloat? Are sales expectations too high? Do anime need more sponsorships? Is that the answer? Or does the medium just need to get more popular in general? Is there no solution to this problem of incomplete adaptations or outside of that? Give me your thoughts, damn it.
Okay, wow. Rapid fire questions. I mean, I see his point.
Yeah, that sounds like all his points are correct.
To an extent, certainly.
I think I mean I agree that there's a lot of shows that come out that don't finish its story, and
or
truthfully-
don't have a full frame, that they don't have the full breadth of the material to work with.
even Akira, even this like beloved movie by the Western fan base, the movie was that ended, but the manga was still going.
Right.
The manga was from 1982 to 1990, so he kind of had to
Well, right. That's kind of like Berserk is right now, actually, or when that show came out, it was only one part of the manga. The manga is actually a much bigger, universe.
Oh, that's so many things. Like that's like 5-star stories.
Or even Bastard, same thing.
Hell, even like really new stuff like Opate. The manga for that's still going, but the anime was only 10 episodes.
So yeah, there certainly is something to say for
Or the one
just hopping on the. I hate to say the hype train, but you know what I mean.
That's like for me. That's like Love Lab. That the manga for that is actually for manga and anime terms. That's actually quite old. That was from 2006. The anime came out last year. They would have enough material to make a second season. But for whatever reason, they're not doing it, or at least not that I know of at this point. So, you know.
What are you guys' thoughts on basically there being more original based material that's not an adaptation?
Well, that's the Daryl Surratt thing also, where he thinks they should be more original, and I actually agree with that.
I was gonna say I actually think I agree with them to an extent.
I agree. But it's all about, it truly comes down to they gotta sell the light novel and manga or game that these things are based on.
I think there's definitely room for more original material, but I think that when doing an adaptation, it sort of deserves to have its full story represented, right? I mean,
yeah.
Well, right. If you're going to go to the trouble to doing anything with it.
Yeah, unless they're doing the thing where they're just using like the adaptation as kind of like a base material and kind of doing their own thing with it, like Kyoani did for Chunibyo.
Or even the original TV version of Hellsing.
Right.
They kind of took some basic things and just kind of ran all over the place with it,
Yeah, or the first Negima TV series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that the easy answer the easy answer to say, but the difficult answer to execute would be the medium needs to be more popular.
Yeah, that would be the.
Because that would just having more people in the fandom in like the Japanese fandom willing to spend money on this stuff would solve this problem by itself.
Would then come down to the stuff has to be more priced better.
Well, another thing, and that might even go into the idea of how animators are paid for that matter, in the sense that now I haven't looked at it recently, but I'm assuming that that's not like a gigantic business thing to where people are just flooding in and out of it at all times.
No.
I assume that's a lot more narrowed down than that.
Yeah, by which the reason why you don't see as many mecha,
is because you don't have people that know enough about designs to do it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The people that have been there since
time immemorial.
Yeah, like Shoji Karamori is still there. You still got Masami Obari there. You still got
You know what they could do, and I know this is a crazy idea probably for some people. They could have like kind of understudies that they could,
I've heard that too, like get people under. But again, there's like
it's an idea. I'm not, I guess it's something that could be tried.
I understand, but it's also that I guess they feel that. I don't know. Sometimes it's also that they think very short-term gain.
Okay.
Yeah, I think to a certain extent, a lot of problems would be solved, and I'm talking universally here. A lot of problems would be solved if people thought long-term. But I think the most expedient way that this problem could be solved is simply if we had more people spending money on the stuff, because then that would be more money into circulating around the industry there.
That would be sound, but here's the problem. The people that would get the money in the end would still be on the tippy top because it's not going to trickle down to the animators and the artisans and all that.
I'm talking.
It has to come from. It has to come from their own, you know.
I'm talking more the problem of incomplete adaptations and original works and all that. That system is broken. 100. That system is just broken. And that's the reason that I can't get behind people saying, "Oh, this stuff was created cynically," because these.
Oh, I hate that. I hate when
they're working for nothing.
Oh, this is peanuts. I mean, holy shit.
So
I mean,
can't get behind the idea of, oh, this show's created cynically, because these people are in there working their asses off to make this show, and they could go get a different job, but they want to be in this industry.
Oh, it's absolutely.
people have died making anime.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
Worked to death. And that's one of the only countries in the world you hear things like that.
Which, by the way, I hope Haganai gets a third season.
I do too, just because I like the show.
Yeah, I really hope that they, I really want to see where they go with the characters.
It's one of those shows that just more of it, I would enjoy it just because.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not because they're like have reinvented the storytelling wheel or some shit like that. But yeah, okay, a lot of ideas. It really is a labor of love because, and a thankless job to an extent too.
Yeah.
Because these people are making it purely because they want to.
When you got people over here saying that, oh, these shows are created cynically, yeah, it's a thankless job.
I mean, certainly. I mean,
Created
the only thing I don't know. I guess I can't quite get inside the Japanese personality with some of this, but the only thing I can think of is just a love of animation and a love of knowing the people out there like themselves are enjoying it.
Well, there's that picture that always circulates around. You know which one? The one about the one.
I'm sick of seeing that.
Yeah, the one director, and then the other guy is
the one guy who gets paid a lot compared to everybody else.
And goes home to see his family every day.
Yeah. There's not a lot of sympathy for that character, that personality there.
Or the artist the animator that I like drawing cute girls.
Cute girls. You know what? More power to that guy. That guy's the hero of the anime industry, not this dick. We can't make the stuff we want to make. Obviously you are, because your animator's drawing cute girls and likes drawing cute girls.
What is it? The obsessive fan market. Yeah, that's how,
Called the people paying for your shit.
Also, people constantly forget it's not in a bubble economy anymore.
Oh well,
Right.
Well, certainly. I mean, let's be real. The entire OVA concept could not have happened in a different time. I don't think so. At least the way it did.
I know that there's people we've had the thing about the Kickstarter thing, and that's been working, but the entire industry is not going to go into that direction.
Oh no, definitely not. But there's no harm in trying alternative things like that.
Also, the whole industry isn't going to go like the way Space Dandy is, where you make this thing that airs concurrently here and in Japan.
Well, no, that's not really feasible.
No, that's not sustainable either.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with taking different approaches and stuff, but you can't base the whole thing on it.
You can't. Yeah, you can't make this how things are done.
I just cannot see that being a model that's successful at all.
Exactly. So really, I think the only surefire way to solve this problem of incomplete adaptations is to just have more people in this fandom who can support the stuff they like.
And I mean, there's certainly nothing wrong with like I said, trying unorthodox or different ways of funding some stuff. I mean, if you can get it to happen that way, I mean,
they to a certain extent. I mean, the way to go about that is an entirely different conversation, because that's a complex problem by itself. But
also, the other thing is that
we have this specific cadre of people who are basically holding this entire industry up on their shoulders, and we need more people in there.
Also, the other thing is that it's basically, to them, if it's not broke, don't fix it right now, to them. And the only way that anything would ever change is if stuff that was projected to sell high would bomb totally, and you would need a lot of that to happen.
To a certain extent. Just in general, people tend to stay the course until something catastrophic happens. So, unfortunately, I think that whatever problems are going on right now, they're going to stay the course until something catastrophic happens.
Yeah.
I have to kind of agree with you on that. Basically, I mean, and this isn't just like anime or even business. I mean, things in general.
In general.
Like that guy who's a chain smoker. And you keep thinking to yourself, sooner or later that's gonna bite you in the ass, and they're just blowing you off.
And
and then when they then when they get some kind of fucked up thing wrong with them, then they have to make lifestyle changes.
Exactly.
But that's kind of the same type of thing, in the sense that until something bad happens, they're not going to kind of reevaluate it.
Right. Anyway, next email. This one's also from Zeke Freak.
Oh, shit.
Message.
I just wanted to point out that To Love Ru is so harem, it makes everything else look downright celibate by comparison. From the etchiest etchy that's ever etchied.
Definitely holy shit, I've seen the scans of the manga. It's like practically hentai at this point.
At this point, yeah. It's as close as you can get. Anyway,
Yeah.
I've been watching it yet, but I plan to. I actually have a great respect for the artist, considering all the horrible crap he had to deal with. Because of his messy divorce and his bitch-ass ex-wife who tried to steal the rights to his series. Wow, I know that. He immediately
and now you wonder why some of these people just like, yep, 2D.
The politics behind,
Major dedication to his fans. He's also a major force pushing against moral guardians and censorship policies in Japan. Any creator who pushes boundaries as much as him is worthy of my respect. Just wanted to chime in, Zeke.
Okay, and I can understand even that personality that likes seeing buttons, pressed and things pushed around in a sense. And I don't mean that like in a bullying sense. I mean,
I know what you're getting at. Yeah.
But like kind of elasticity. You know what I mean?
I have a great amount of respect for anyone who fights against censorship actively.
Oh, certainly, and by that I know you mean not complaining about it on Tumblr or something like that. but that's they actually usually advocate for it though. So
the advocates of censorship,
or people on ANN that it's like,
or people on ANN actively advocating censorship,
which the censor historically has always lost.
Yeah.
I mean, like, name a time when eventually that wasn't, I mean...
Y'all ready for a third Zeke Freak email?
Oh, shit.
Message.
Zeke again. I'm all for this anime worth watching show, and with Podcast Zero going evidently on hiatus, yes, that was just announced while we were doing the show. Podcast Zero is going on hiatus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that did actually pop up on my timeline, but I didn't want to just blurt it out.
What was the reason for that?
He's gotten burned out on it.
Oh.
That's another probably reason why we happily have the 2 a month thing.
So no Hidamari.
Oh, it'll happen just later.
No, yeah, it's a hiatus. It's
If you guys ever
reevaluating.
there, I'm always available. I've also started doing a weekly 10-minute one-man podcast on YouTube, The Baka Gaijin Show, which can be found on my YouTube channel, is updated every Tuesday. Spend about 10 minutes ranting about specific topics in the fandom. Self-plug. Also, you don't need to read this on the air if you don't want to. Too bad, we did.
Boom.
Yeah.
There you go.
But yes, check out The Baka Gaijin Show by Zeke Freak. He's an awesome guy, even if he's wrong about Aniplex.
Really, Anubis.
I have a platform. I'm going to use it.
No.
Speaking of people whining, so the manga and anime Guardians thing happened.
Oh, that's a good point to make too.
Oh yeah, I saw that thing. The where they were all saying arigato.
There were. So
Oh.
it was this whole big anti-piracy thing where they're starting to shut down all these illegal
Streaming sites and things like that.
Also some torrent things.
also torrent things.
Or at least they're targeted.
Yeah.
They're going to try, which is the point.
Yeah, I don't see the Pirate Bay going anywhere.
Pirate Bay.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you've had when you've had entire when you've had Interpol trying to shut you down.
Yeah. So I was listening to the Maho Shoujo Defense Force livecast yesterday.
Okay, were they talking about this?
They were talking about this, and
Okay.
I was also, because on the lead up to that, I follow a bunch of anime-themed fan pages on YouTube, on Facebook, and they
Right.
were all about this. And the sentiment that I got from both of these outlets, both the Maho Shoujo Defense Force and all these Facebook things and the people commenting on this was really disappointing. Because a lot of it was bitching.
Okay. Okay, here's an unpopular opinion, and for various reasons. To me, piracy is, in a lot of cases, a service problem.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Like if you want something but you can't get it, and for it's not available or whatever, but you can get it through a digital,
Yeah.
quote unquote backup copy, haha, or however you want to phrase it to make yourself feel better. You're probably going to do that.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Funimation really shot themselves on the foot with that Seren Kagura by not having those extra OAD things on there. Which
those are going to be
basically-
pirated in mass.
Yeah.
With those.
Oh, I guarantee you that. A lot of old. Okay, I'll give you an example. A lot of those old Bandai shows, also, they're going to be pirated like hell.
If that's if that was the Japanese company saying no, you can't, you can only have the show itself, not the extras, and as a way to curb piracy, for reverse importation. Well, guess what?
That's going to have that's
Did
not
the wrong
way to
thing.
do that.
But here's my thing. We live in 2014. We have Crunchyroll. We have Hulu. We got the shit on Netflix now. There are a whole bunch of legal ways to watch this stuff.
Also, I just because I'm subscribed to that thing that Gundam Info that posts
Oh yeah, I know
old
what you're talking
Gundam.
about.
Which, you know what they posted this week? You know what they posted?
Stars
Yes.
Counterattack.
Yes.
Yep.
You have no excuse, people.
I own it, but there you go.
Oh, I know. I would love the Blu-ray version of that, by the way.
Oh, I would totally be on that.
They should,
I would double dip for that.
yeah. That and F91 because I really love F91, but that's
I like F91, but I understand the complaints about it because it was originally supposed to be like a 50-episode series.
Yes.
And it was just condensed into like a 2-hour movie. Obviously it suffers because of that.
Yeah. But anyway, I think another thing is the sort of, this whole like Japanese coming down on the piracy thing. Wouldn't it be as severe if people bought some of the shit instead of pirating everything? Even though we download stuff as a way to gauge what we like and don't like,
there's an interesting.
We really don't even need to do that anymore, because just about everything ends up on Crunchyroll or Hulu or one of these other.
Well,
things.
I will never get a Crunchyroll subscription, but I do use horrible rip subs.
I don't have a Crunchyroll subscription, but I still use their service.
Okay, here's a good example in comparison. Recently, Japan actually tried to do that with music too. If you remember hearing about that, and actually, sales went down quite a bit when they did it too, because I guess because of the idea of try before you buy kind of thing. But I'll speak from personal experience. If you like a lot of like metal music, a lot of people are like that. They try before you buy. But you'll also notice they're actually one of the big buyers of actual physical media. I mean, statistically, you can actually see it like on we're living in the scan, the sound scan era, as it were. And you'll see a disproportionate amount of like buying physical copies of CDs and vinyl and whatever, in comparison to others just buying like 1 or 2 digital downloads or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is not a coincidence.
That was one of the big like counter arguments to this whole thing. Sales will go down because no one's gonna buy just this anime they've never heard of and never seen before. But we have Crunchyroll. We have all this stuff that's legal that you can go and do.
True. Like I said, in the modern world, it's very much a service problem. Like shows that you can't see, or things like even like adult material that you can't just see, on something like that, or
you're not gonna get like a hentai on like Crunchyroll.
Well, obviously not. But that does open the way.
My problem isn't even the piracy. My problem is people bitching about it. My problem is that all this bullshit, this BS sentiment that they're trying. Sales will go down because people come and try before they buy.
You mean the stuff you weren't buying to begin with?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's first of all. Second of all, this is one that came up and got me really mad. Aren't they making enough money?
Wow. Holy shit. This has to be somebody who just sees Anaplex's prices and doesn't know anything better.
It's because
wow. This stuff isn't like, pancakes or, something that's just like moving all this unbelievable amount of units and they're just going to the bank with it.
Yeah.
Number one, this stuff isn't. It's not like this stuff isn't Call of Duty. This stuff isn't doing record units every single time it comes out. This is a niche product. Number two, what is enough money?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we're going to have somebody at some point like coming up with an actual figure on that, but
So like, okay, guys, you're running a business. What's enough money?
I don't know. I think the concept of exactly. What's the bottom line on the money thing?
The concept of enough money is laughable to me.
Enough to buy gold leaf toilet paper.
Enough to live sustainably.
I want if I'm gonna if I'm getting money, I want more money than some major countries.
That's right.
Enough to sprinkle gold on. Which is
Time
something
Enforcer Anubis wants to compete with Gene Simmons.
Listen, I want enough to start my own space program.
Just don't do the Enron thing.
Anubis wants his own military, and it's going to be all
paramilitary group where they're running around. They've got it's like Ica where they got the girls with the submachine guns and the maid uniforms and stuff.
No, you think I'm joking?
The maid army.
You give me the opportunity to make that much money, I will make that much money. There's no enough money. Are you kidding me? As much money as possible.
I want enough money to finance my own production company, and we make shows that only I want to see.
Listen, if you gave me enough money to turn She's Lost Control Media into a licensing firm, I'd do it.
She's was it this podcast?
You hear that, philanthropists out there?
Yeah.
He wants to be the Howard Stern. He wants his stuff on like Siri. He wants he wants this podcast to be listened to in people in cars. All right.
That I imagine there would be a lot more traffic accidents.
He said what? He's gonna do what to her? What's that VZ fellow gonna do to this?
You know how ballin' it would be if we were on Sirius XM?
I cannot imagine how long we would last on there with some of the stuff we do. And I am relatively tame by how I am in real life compared to how I am on here.
You heard some of the shit on Sirius XM?
No.
We would be fine on Sirius XM.
Well, I'm just saying because I heard of the recent thing, and that was something that was external. What the hell was that? The
Sleeping and Anthony.
Thank you.
Yeah. That whole thing was bullshit. By the way,
we're gonna go out on a limb here, and we don't normally get political like this about this kind of stuff, but yeah, that was bullshit.
Anyway, back to this bitching about they're shutting down all these pirating sites, all these illegal streaming sites. Like, what do those really do for the community?
I mean, have you ever been to like Anime Freak? How bad those streams are.
Yeah.
Anime Freak looks like a website from 1998.
It looks, and I don't know how many of our listeners will actually even understand this, but it looks like the stuff I used to look at on Real Player. Let that sit in your mind for a little bit. First off, I used Real Player at some point.
Yeah.
That's scary in and of itself.
Yeah, I mean, I still use Nan torrents for
They're targeted, by the way.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, I use them for like my music that I download also and shit. Because I download a crazy amount of songs and shit.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But I also buy a lot of shows and such anyway, so
that's the crux of it. Yes, we still do this, but we also buy the shit. I think that
I think the times are hard for this stuff in general, and I mean, it almost seems like the people who do buy most of this stuff also have a bit of a collector mentality anyway.
Yeah, because the only people who do collect stuff in Japan is the otaku. We've already kind of established that.
I don't have room.
But here's the thing. Certainly, the number of people who buy and they have the collector mentality and all that. But we need to prop this industry up somehow. Otherwise, we don't get anything.
I mean,
So it's put up or shut up. Let's go. Let's start supporting this industry more.
Also, stop complaining about the stuff that you don't like.
I don't completely. I don't understand harping on stuff that you're never going to be even remotely interested in.
That's dumb.
I mean, I can understand in passing, no, I'm not into that or whatever, but like dedicating whole web pages to like just harping on, I don't like this kind of material.
Hate watching things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or
hate
the
watching.
wonderful concept of hate watching.
Hate
Like I
watching
said, still
online.
sounds like a A&E, undercover, like, we think these people are involved in.
All y'all people hate watching Sword Art Online too, and guess what? You're gonna complain when it's the top show on Crunchyroll, aren't you? Idiots.
So there you go.
So
Stop
yeah,
hate watching things.
that's my thing. It's just the whole reaction to this bothers me.
I can understand why. It really does come down to that, almost kind of a combination of the entitlement thing and the
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Yeah.
and almost kind of like a weird self-righteousness or something. Like wait, what?
We have this segment of the anime community that's dedicated to, and previously I was sort of kind of like hedging that. I was kind of making a bet I didn't actually know, but now I know. We have this segment of the anime community that's dedicated to not supporting this stuff. Dedicated to it. And you know what? It's not just the anti-Mod Brigade anymore. So that's my thing about the anti-piracy thing. I'm 100% up on the idea of being able to obtain media that we otherwise could not obtain, and by way of that we have to do that through piracy. I'm 100% behind that because I do it too.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna hear complaints that, hey, you're pirating Victory Gundam.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah, everybody has.
Yeah. Otherwise,
Everybody who's seen it probably has.
my thing is
There's a whole bunch. There's a whole bunch of these like OVAs on YouTube that they're on YouTube that they haven't been targeted by Japanese. They're just there, and because nobody, and that's the only way you're ever going to see some of these.
Yep.
So I mean, it's not like oh no, he's doing something, that's kind of in a gray area or something like that.
It's not that at all. I'm unhappy because my favorite streaming site, Anime Stream bitch.info, is being targeted by the people who own the media.
Mean old capitalists.
Exactly. By the people who own the media. I'm unhappy because, and I'm gonna come up with all these self-righteous BS explanations for why I should still be able to access anime stream bitch.info rather than using Crunchyroll like sensible people do. And it wouldn't be as big a problem to me if it was like so.
I get it. Yeah.
The whole sentiment is, I don't want to buy this stuff. I don't want to actually support this stuff. I don't want to maybe subscribe to Crunchyroll so some money gets back to the people who own this stuff. I just want to watch it for no cost, where there's no money going back to the people who made this.
Forget about it.
And
well, there's people who are these people
like any other kind of media.
You have to understand. There's a contingent
call
of
themselves
people.
anime.
Wait, but there's a contingent of people that are quote unquote afraid to show their power levels. Using that DBZ term. Basically, they're afraid to show to other people that they're
You need to grow up.
Yeah, that's you know, so they don't buy anything. They don't buy figures. They don't have anything anime related in there. You know.
They could still subscribe to Crunchyroll. The problem isn't that they want to hide their power levels. Number one is being a little bitch. First of all, no one cares. But
Anybody who does care, are they really your friend material?
anybody who does care, you probably don't want to associate with them anyway.
Well, what about their parents? If their parents like you're afraid to.
Well, okay. Assuming they're not, like 14.
Yeah.
Or in Jeebus land.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's a whole different kind of thing there, though.
If you're 18 years old, you're an adult. But
you shouldn't. Your parents shouldn't be dictating the type of things you enjoy.
Yeah. But that's an entire different thing. These people are simply committed to never spending any money on this thing, and they call themselves anime fans. They call themselves anime fans when their idea of this stuff is just another form of consumable, disposable entertainment.
So there you have it. All right, and this all kind of ties back because these two are bitches on parade.
So in any case, that's the show. The email address is ntrradio@gmail.com. The website is she'slostcontrol.net/podcast. Check out Shinakiba Anime Goods. You find the blog for that at shinakiba.she'slostcontrol.net. Check out VZ stuff at vzmk2moemekagatai.wordpress.com. K-God's site will be up soon, in about a week.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
It's under construction. I'm working on it.
You can check out his thoughts and ideas and ramblings on Twitter at KGods00. Check out the latest episode of Podcast Zero while they're going on a hiatus, and listen to all their other episodes as well because they're really good. I'm Tom Enforcer Anubis.
I'm K-Odds.
And I'm VZ Mark II.
And even though we have to choose the soon today every time we say it, this is NTR Radio.